So this is the booklet that I made for this study, or actually the group that I'm in made for this study. You do not have to make it exactly like this. You do not have to make one. Totally up to you. You can use it for something else. But I like it because it has a whole bunch of different pockets, and you can hide notes if you really didn't want somebody to see, what you were writing. Use tags, so you can put one. We originally put one tag in here, but then we changed it and we're putting more than one. Totally up to you. Then there's a flap in here. Now this particular flap, I'm going to show you, I used a manila folder, but you can also do it here. It's pictured where we used a watercolor paper and we just cut it. And we cut two pieces and then we taped it with masking tape. You can see there in the middle. So if you don't have a manila folder, we actually cut the top of that to look like a manila folder. But if you don't have it, it's not, is it? What is it? Is it a manila folder? I keep saying manila folder. Yeah. Is that right, Lori? And then different size tags there you can use. You can make your own. I mean, this is totally just an idea and for you to use. So again, I think they were size 10 that we used. I think there are like a 6x3 or something like that. I'll get the measurements. But now these folders are 11x9. And then the smaller one was a 6x9. So those tags are an 8. They are an 8x4 tag we used. And then the large manila folder, or the large white folder that we're using, is self-adhesive one, and it's a 12x9. Should I say that? Yeah, 12x9. So you need two 12x9s, and then the one of them is the 9x6, which is the little one that we're doing here. And we're gonna go ahead and tuck in that little lip there. You take off the adhesive strip thingy and just put it in there. Okay, so that's one side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to measure the flap, which is to the left, and it's 4.5 inches in. So we're going to measure that. And my camera is not behaving, so sorry about that. So I'm measuring 4.5 on the bottom, 4.5 on the top. I'm going to draw a line. And then fold it over. So this gives us the pocket for our tag. And we're going to make a little indent later with a punch for this pocket, but right now we're just going to do the pocket. And I fold it both ways just to kind of give it some flexibility. So there's the top of that opening of the envelope. So that's our front flap. Now we're going to take our other large envelope and do the same like we did with the other one on that side. Just take off the strip, and it's already glued for you. Just place it on top. With the opening to the left there. And on this one, we're going to make a little pocket. So we're going to fold in towards the middle. And this size. So I measure here about a 5.5. I would do, so I would probably do like a 5-inch, but you could do a 5.5, completely up to you. You don't even have to do one if you don't want. So I'm gonna measure from the side, 5 to 5.5, whichever one you want. I think originally we did 5, because in a second you're going to see that it's a little off on my new one as opposed to my sample one, but that's okay. So we're doing this so that we can write notes, and you can put all your stuff on Moses in one little booklet if you want. Folding it over. Both ways, kind of just making sure the fold will go easily. Will move easily. Let's see. And then we're going to just go ahead and take the ruler and go on an angle from the top. See, I'm a little off there, but that's okay. All right, so we're going to take the ruler, go from the corner, right hand corner, and make a diagonal line. And then we're going to draw the line and then just cut the line. I didn't really measure down the left side there because it doesn't matter really. It's just a little pocket that we're doing. And then just take scissors and just cut that triangle out of that one piece that's folded over. And it gives you a little pocket. What you're going to do is you're going to glue. You can use whatever kind of glue you want. And we're going to glue the side, the left side, and then the bottom. So we're going to glue, so you can put stuff in your pocket. So we're going to glue here, and you're going to glue there, just a nice line, and then it makes a pocket. And there's your pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and use a glue stick because that's what I had nearby. And my camera again is acting funny. Now this is where we're going to take a circle hole punch. On my original sample, I had a bigger one. I think it was probably like even a 3-inch one. This one here, I believe, is only like 1.5 inches or so. So you have a couple options. You can cut your own circle out, or you can punch it out like I am here, whichever size you want. Does not matter. That is just to give it a little detail and to take out the tag. So we will have to cut the top of that envelope where we notched it. I just can't find my scissors at the moment, so I'm going to do it later with you. And then I'm showing you here how it gets folded. And that's that part there. So again, if you don't have a particular hole punch or whatever, just go ahead and cut it. Use a circle to help cut it. Okay, so I'm using for this particular sample, I'm going to use the manila folders, file folders. Okay, so the difference is that obviously it's a different color, so it's not the white color. So if that bothers you, then you might want to go the route of the watercolor paper. In that case, you'll just cut a 9, and probably actually an 8 3/4 by what did I measure that as? I think it was like 7. I don't know what that measurement was. I'll have to look. Rewind it and look. I can't rewind it because I'm I'm recording. Okay, so yeah, I think it was 7. So here, like you see that it's a little bit big, so you're just going to trim that down, and that's probably like a 1/4 inch or so that I'm going to trim off of there. Just so it'll slide in. So each segment that we do, we'll be adding different things to it. We're basically just priming our little booklet right now and just getting it all set up. It's not expected to get this all done in one setting as far as decorating and stuff. So what do I have here? So 7. It is 7 by, I think it was 9. So yeah, so you want to do a little bit less than 9. So if you're cutting from water paper or any kind of other paper, you're going to do 7 by like 8 3/4 maybe. 2 pieces of that, and then you'll tape it together with some masking tape or washi tape. Okay. And then you can use that piece that you have for the middle if you want. Or I'll show you here that I'll cut another bigger piece. But either way, I mean, you could probably even fit 2 in there. Totally up to you. Now, even though I'm using the manila, I can always just go ahead and grab some white paper and glue it on top of it to make it so that it's white also, but that is completely up to you. Sometimes I think it's cool to have just different elements. All right. So again here, now this is going to be, I think I'm doing a 6. And you can keep the top of this because it's going to be sticking out of the folder top. Okay, so we got left, middle, and now we're going to just make another one like before, the 7x9 for the right hand side. Or 7 8 3/4, whichever way you want to do it. Okay. And that's for the inside there. And if it's a little snug, then just go ahead and trim it. And there's the notch there again. So this is where I said you're just gonna have to put your scissors in there and just trim that so you can get the tag in and out. And mine isn't cooperating, of course. I decided to just take it from the top instead of putting my scissors in there because it was giving me such a hard time. It would probably be better to use my smaller scissors, but they weren't around when I was doing it. So this is your bigger, actually that's not the size that goes in there, that's the smaller one. But just to show you that that's how you put it in. So like I said, you don't need a huge, you can actually do your, if you have an extra piece of file folder, you can actually just put that in too, so that you'll give yourself extra note-taking space. So right there, I had to pull out my insert because my front tab would not allow me to close that front tab because the file folder was in the way. So if you want to trim it to be a little bit smaller you can. And there you have it. Now the next step, when we originally did it at my group, we actually used distressed spray inks. We use spray inks, but I don't own them anymore because they always clog on me. So what I've decided to do with this particular one is I'm going to use ink pads, and I'm going to use my pad here, my waterproof type pad. I forgot what it's called. And then if you don't have something like this, you could probably use wax paper or butcher paper, something like that. So I suggest you use three prime colors that you want to use to base your booklet with. Of course, we'll add different things to it later, but you want three basic colors that you're going to use. And I'm just putting them on to the silicone thingy, whatever it is. Gosh, it's horrible. You would think I don't know. That's what happens when you don't use this stuff. Anyway, spray a little bit of spray. You can also do this with marker. You guys have seen me do it quite a bit, where we've used Crayola markers, as long as they're a water-based marker. And this particular time I'm putting too much water on. So you just kind of play with it. If you are uncomfortable and have never done this technique before, you want to go ahead and try it on paper before you do it. Now this is going to be wet, and we're going to have to let it dry. So don't be freaked out because it looks all funky. Also, you can swirl your paper, and you'll see me do that, or you can swipe your folder, whichever. So you might want to do like one side first, let it dry up, and then flip it over and do the other side. Completely up to you. I'm just going to go ahead and let you watch this, and I'll put some music on so you can watch what I'm doing. But at this point, basically all we're doing is taking all the pieces that we just made and inking them up. And you don't, white space is okay. Like, you don't want to go too crazy because we are going to add other stuff to this. Alrighty, so then you'll just go ahead and finish up with your inserts and your tags, and that'll be that. So have fun, and you want to prepare this before class or during the first week of it, and then each week that we work on it, we can add to the book whatever you want. If you're doing study on your own and you find pictures or whatever, totally up to you. All right, so have fun doing it. Don't think a lot, just have fun. Use different techniques, swiping and swirling and spraying onto the paper, and let the inks just flow. All right, guys, have fun. And remember, you can use markers, you can use the spray, acrylic, the watercolor sprays, Distress Like inks, and then the ink pads. Okay, I'm done. Peace out.